Even after landing engineering roles across AI, hardware, and software engineering, I still think to myself, damn, I made so many mistakes during my student life. And if you're studying engineering right now, you're probably making the same exact errors as I did when I was a student. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a recent electrical engineering graduate. Now I work full-time as a software engineer at Europe's largest bank. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what errors I made so you don't make them. Number one, grades do not matter as much as you think. I cared so much about my grades when I got into university, especially in my first year. It's all I cared about. And the reality is, I cared about it too much. And I want to note that it's not that grades do not matter at all. That's not the case. You obviously need to get decent grades, but you don't need to get the best grades. It's not a black and white thing. You want your grades to be high enough so that they never stop you from getting to an opportunity that you want. This usually means that you don't need to have the top grade. It means you have to have a good grade, but not the best one. So please do not stress over exams so much. Use that stress elsewhere on other important things that I will speak about in this video. That stress is way better if it's applied to higher leverage activity that just gives you way more in return for the time and effort and stress that you put in. Which leads me to my next point, that your university projects actually matter way more than you think in contrast to exams. So I made a huge mistake when I got to university because I treated my courseworks, my project work, as just a task that I need to do to submit so that I can get a good grade and pass my class. And this was a terrible way to think about it, because when you get through your life, you realize, especially when you get to your interviews, when you speak to people about what you're doing, you don't speak about the sheet you did in maths where you had to do a triple integral. You know, you talk about your projects, you talk about your mum to your projects, and most importantly, you speak about your projects in your interviews for your internships and your grad roles. And I can't stress this enough. Put effort into your projects. Make sure you're competent, you understand the problems you have in these projects, because you're gonna speak about them. Honestly, guys, if I didn't have decent projects, I wouldn't have found my first internship, because I would have nothing to talk about. I would have nothing to put on my CV. This is another point, okay? You need to put something on your CV. What are you going to put? That you got 77% in your core mathematics module. Sure. But everyone is doing these modules. Not everybody's doing these projects. That's what makes you stand out. The engineering curricula is very standardized, even across countries, okay? You need to stand out. And by doing a fantastic project, it just changes the game. So this is why I emphasize that your university projects matter way more, because they can be ultimately the deciding factor whether you land your first engineering role. And that's obviously a crazy domino effect. Your engineering internship probably will lead to a full-time role, and that will start your career, just because you have 2 or 3 fantastic projects. Less time studying for exams, more time on projects. Hey, and if you're planning to apply for engineering internships or grad roles, then you're in luck, because you can go to my description, alexgornik.com/resume, and you can grab my free CV template for free. It got me interviews at Google, Samsung, my full-time role at HSBC. It's really good. Go check it out. Link in the description. The next point I want to speak about is the fact that we have all the knowledge in our heads. I had a huge limiting belief at the start that I don't know enough to build something. And I'm telling you this now, that you do, okay? I have a student now, and I'm helping him and I'm coaching him through his engineering journey. And I realized that a lot of young people on this journey are just scared of starting. They think that they don't have everything they need to start and to build something. I'm telling you this, your mathematics, your physics, your chemistry is better than probably 90% of people on this planet. You're enrolling onto an engineering degree. This is not a joke, okay? You have such advanced maths already, Okay, you know what Pythagoras is, you know what basic calculus is already, probably you know what trigonometry is. You can solve most problems. Okay, now you just need to learn the tools, the systems thinking, and the best way to do it is by doing. Why is this happening? Well, because schools teach you theory, and we've been going to schools since we remember, since the age of 3 and 4. We're so accustomed to learning more theory that we just feel like we need to learn and learn and learn more theory. And we do this in a more academic manner. Guys, for the most part, we don't need that much more theory. We need more practice. Especially us engineers, we need to build. We need to build. That's what makes fantastic engineers. And look, you will start a project, you will get stuck, you don't know what to do, you're completely like, I don't know what to do, what do I do? But that's it. You see, at that moment, when you get to that, that's when you're learning. You just need to push through. You need to actually figure out. You need to go on Google. You need to watch the YouTube video. You need to ask AI, how do I do this? You need to just fight through your issues when you're working on a project. And that is learning. And it's so much better to learn what you need for your project rather than learn everything. Remember, only 20% and still feel like you need more theory. Learn on the go. That's how I survived in any professional job I had. It's probably one of the best skills I've acquired. It's just learning while doing. And you'll be amazed. You will be amazed how much you can build with the knowledge you have available right now in your cranium. Oh, and there's no excuses. We all have AI to our disposal now. Anytime you're stuck, you can get going again. Okay? If you're an engineering student who's struggling at university and maybe you need to look for an internship or grad role now and you're really struggling, then I've got you. I'm running a one-to-one coaching program with a select few ambitious engineering students, and I'm here to help you gain clarity, build a roadmap, and get to where you want to get to. Join the waitlist below using the link down in the description. I'll send you an email. The next point I want to talk about, we also don't need to study as much as we think. You see, time spent on studying and the results gained are not a linear relationship thing. Okay, and actually I have a bit of a hypothesis, and I think it's a bit more logarithmic actually in nature. There is a point where more study just is not worth it anymore, and I would say it's diminishing returns. And here on the screen I will show you a plot that I made, which is a good rough representation of effort to grade relationship. Do your best to not get to the red zone. Okay, I know it's hard to think about it that way, but as soon as you get to that red zone where you're putting so much more effort in and you're just not getting that much result back, then you should stop. You should actually just go study the next module. You should go do something else more productive with that time, because you're just not getting much out. You will need to sit down and identify what's a sweet spot grade for your university, your curriculum. Work towards that, and as soon as you feel like you really have hit that point, give yourself maybe a bit of space for error, and that's it. Next, do not try get to 100% with anything academically. It's not worth it. I'm saying all of this because in my first year I studied a ridiculous amount of time, and I was only able to because of COVID. I had a bunch of time. When I got to my second year, I tried to study the same way. It didn't work because I was running a YouTube channel. I started going to the gym. I started going to gymnastics. I started playing football. You can't handle life properly when you're studying 8 hours a day. It's not possible. You have to optimize, and this is why I'm telling you this. So please do so. But this is not the only thing that I made mistakes with. The final thing that I do want to talk to you about is zooming out. We don't zoom out enough. Look, I bet you're locked in. You're watching my video. I bet you are locked in. I was locked in too. But when you're so locked in, sometimes we don't zoom out. You have to zoom out sometimes. You have to look from time to time if you're even going in the right direction. Because remember, one step in the right direction is way better than making these huge leaps somewhere where you don't want to go. and reflecting, doing research about how your journey as an engineer is looking like, doing research about other journeys that are available to you is extremely important. You want to keep on updating your journey, looking at where you're going. And we're doing that so that we make sure when we graduate, the chances are that where we end up in our full-time roles is the thing we wanted to do. We don't want to be the people that are saying, I don't like my job, I'm miserable, 9 to 5, I hate it. You want to avoid that, and you want to do your best to not be that. And it happens, like maybe you did your best and you still ended up in a job you don't like, that's fine. But we actively want to not be there, right? We want to actively put effort into not being there. So do your best to research and reflect and zoom out and see where you are on this journey. What do you like? Ask yourself, what do you like? What are you currently really enjoying in your curriculum? What are some fields of engineering that really interest you? Maybe look at the overlap between your interest academically and professionally. Just write it down. Speak to someone about it. Brainstorm. Zoom out from this locked in mindset. It's amazing to be locked in, but only if you know what direction you're going into. I can't stress this enough. Be locked in. Once you figured out what you want, ask yourself what you want. Ask yourself 100 times a day until it's crystal clear. And I know it's hard. And you may have to ask yourself that question, as I said, 100 times, and it will update and update and update and update. But you will know when you're getting closer to the answer. You know if you're like, okay, this is it. It happened to me eventually, but it just takes so much effort and time. But it's the most high ROI thing you will do. Rate on return. Because if you're not going in the right direction, what's the point of all of this? What's the point of hustling? What's the point of being locked in? I hope I made my point clear. If you enjoyed this video, and you would like to know more deeply how to optimize your studying and your curriculum for engineering so that you have way more time, way more energy for other things, then I strongly recommend you watch this video over here, because I tell you exactly step by step how to break down your curriculum and optimize your learning so that you get the most time for it. Thank you. I'm Alex. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye bye.